Hi, Daria, and everybody.
Hi, Sabrina.
Look,
Today is a special day.
yes, that it's a special day because neither of us are on camera, and
Yeah,
people can watch us color side by side, different pages, but within the
but the
same.
same book.
Yeah, Oda's wonderful new book, Bloomfolk. Very cute.
Exactly. We were just so excited to color, so we couldn't decide who is going to be on camera today. But also, we have a topic that will suit perfectly, I think, because we're both coloring and we will talk about how to get better at coloring.
Yeah, like I guess our own what we do separately because I think you and I have different things that we do.
Yeah.
Um, what inspires us and
And like to start this interesting conversation, I'd like to ask you, what do you think people mean, like really mean, when they say they want to get better at coloring? Like, what is behind it? Because for me, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
better at coloring. I have this same thing with other hobbies myself. So I like to get better at everything. I'm a perfectionist, so I hate being bad
Mm-hmm.
at things.
Mm-hmm.
Or my perceived bad, like I'm not good at this, so I need to get better. Um, I think that a lot of people do have that as well,
Yeah.
where they might not be happy with the skill level they're at, or they see someone that they're aspire to be like and know they have to put in time and they have to get better and understand things more to kind of create what they actually have in their mind or what they want. Um, so it's the same thing with other hobbies as well. Like if I have an idea in my mind, like let's say it's music, right? What I want to play.
Mm-hmm.
I want to play a certain thing. So I have to
Mm-hmm.
get better at it.
So
Right?
you think it comes like from not being able to do what you have in your mind, like what that your imagination is like more advanced than your skills at that?
Yes, like you're limited by your skills. So your mind can come up with all these things that you want to do, but then when you put
Mm.
marker to paper or whatever it is, um, it feels like limiting in a way based on whatever
Right,
your
like
skill.
I understand what you mean, but like for me, I think coloring was always about. It was kind of an intimate activity, right? Because it's a book that you own.
Mhm.
It's not like you are doing something to use it in your everyday life or to I don't know put it on a wall. You know what I mean? It has this
Mhm.
like intimate moment of just you on your desk.
Yeah, I could see that. I think it depends what you want to do with the page, right? So some people purposely color and they are doing it to post on social
Right.
media.
Yeah,
So I
there's
think
this
that's a huge
part.
influence. If I know I'm not going to post it or like it's just something for me, I definitely don't care about my skill level, I suppose, as much. It's like no one else can see it, sort of thing.
Yeah, but like this is what I'm thinking. You know, when people say like I want to get better, I think
Mhm.
often it's just they want to be better at content,
Well, yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
not at actual coloring, which is also okay. But like honestly, you can get better at coloring by just getting a good lighting and learning some editing skills and filming skills, and boom, your coloring pages would look like three times better. You know, without actually changing your actual coloring.
Yes, I agree. I think a common misconception too is that like the better the pages are, the better they'll do as like in
Oh
social
yeah,
media aspect, but that's not true. It doesn't
absolutely.
have to be that. Yeah. But so you're not a perfectionist. So you don't not
I
really.
hate perfectionists. I don't hate
Yeah, I
you,
hate me. Yes.
but I think it's because I worked like in the creative industries, and my rule of thumb in general, like if I have to hire someone, I don't hire perfectionists
Mm.
um, because they go hand in hand with procrastination.
You are totally
Uh,
right. Yeah.
you know, it's better like perfect and not done, and I prefer better done than perfect.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have like, although I can't say I can't say I've never been a perfectionist. Like I am familiar with the feeling of like when you want to be good at everything. Um,
Hmm.
but I think be good and be perfect also like is not the same thing,
Yes.
if
I
I may
agree.
say that. like I believe you have to kind of find a balance in everything. I'm a balanced girl in general. So like I do like progress, and I also, like, for me personally, I'm a person who likes to learn new things. Like for me, the learning process is very enjoyable. Like sometimes I just learn random things, um,
Yes.
like very random hobbies just for the sake of learning from zero. Like you didn't know how to do something and then you just learn it.
Oh yeah.
This like gives me a lot of joy. But I, because I teach, right? I teach markers and coloring, and it
Mhm.
became kind of a big part of my life. So I hear a lot when people say, like, I want to get better at coloring. And maybe they haven't even started, they're just buying their first markers and they already enter with like desire to be great.
I'd be one of those. Yes. if I'm
Okay.
if I'm not perfect at it right at the start, then I give up.
But then I have a question for you, Sabrina. How did you become so good at coloring?
Hey, well, thank you for saying so. I think coloring was not the first art form that I worked with, though. So I think that helped as well. Like, it's not
Right.
the first medium, I would say. I did
Mm-hmm.
digital art before that. I've done like gouache and watercolor and oil, all that stuff, right? And it
Mm-hmm.
influences the next medium, even though it's like this slightly different. I think
Right.
but if you're just starting out, it's yeah.
But
Oh,
I think this is very important, like what you're saying, because I've met some people who come to my lives or like to my Discord, and they say, I'm very new to coloring. I've never done anything like that. I've just started. And then you discover they actually have a word artist in their job title. Maybe they are makeup artist.
yeah.
And like I understand it's very different, obviously, like coloring with markers from makeup artist, but it's still a creative field. You still get some understanding of colors. You
Hmm.
still like learn something. You're not starting from zero. And I think most of the creative people like never start from zero, because I'm sure there is some creative stuff that you did in the past that can help you in your coloring journey.
Yeah, it's like a transferable skill, right? So someone else that if they were doing coloring and they decided, oh, I'm going to try actual paint, like acrylics or something, they'll
Hmm.
find a lot of the same kind of knowledge in both.
Right, and I think also on social media today, many people divide like creative hobbies, art hobbies, when they don't have to divide them. Those videos like, I have 50 hobbies, and mm,
Mhm.
35 of them are just painting and drawing. Have you seen it?
No. Mhm.
Because I have, and I was like, wait a second, but like painting and drawing, you can't like separate them into different hobbies. I don't care if you're painting like watercolor flowers today and tomorrow you draw cute animals. This is the same hobby.
Mhm. Mhm. One thing I was going to ask about, like learning new things or
Hmm.
getting better at stuff, like you were saying, how you when you were learning a new hobby and things you like doing that. Did
Hmm.
you like school as well? Were you someone who enjoyed school?
No, I didn't
Okay.
like school. Yeah, this is
Interesting.
the funny thing, and I can explain. I think my brain was not developed at all when I was at school, so learning was hard.
Mm.
And then, like when I was in my early 20s, I started to like learn some other stuff, at university.
Hmm.
And I realized that learning when you're grown up is a lot easier than when you're a child.
Right. Okay.
And I think many people who start like doing creative stuff when they're grown ups, they don't realize they have this huge advantage because they still remember how they were not maybe creative, or maybe they didn't get a recognition for their art
Hmm.
when they were younger. So they grow up thinking they're not good enough like for art, while that's not true, because now you have a huge advantage and you can learn everything that the child was learning like for uh, years. You can learn it in 1 year, maybe what would have taken you 10 when you were 10 years old.
Oh yeah, that's true. Like the trajectory of learning is like, yeah, it's a lot
Yeah,
quicker.
like you, because your brain now is able to make systems, and like operate in the right way, not just like wandering completely lost in the ocean of the new information that you have to perceive every day.
Well, one thing I was curious about, because you do teach people how to color, right?
Mm-hmm.
Color along. Do you find that you get that comment often where they're like, I can't do this?
Yes.
It's, yeah, I figured. Like people that try something that you've done and they're just like, I can't figure this out or I can't do this, even though you're showing them step by step.
Yep.
And, um, but they're trying to improve, right? So they're trying to do this thing that they wouldn't normally be
Hmm.
able to, like your clouds, right? They couldn't come up with it on their own. And they're trying to improve and do like what you can do. Yeah, I
So
guess
here's
that's
the
cool.
thing.
Hmm.
Like it took me a very long time to be able to say it comfortably with myself. Like, yeah, I teach people how to color because it sounded ridiculous. Again, coming back to the initial question,
Hmm.
I don't believe anyone needs to be better at coloring. I think coloring is a very intimate activity that you can do with yourself, just to like switch off your brain for a second.
Yeah.
And then when we go like further, like, okay, no, I'm not satisfied when I just fill the shapes. Like, I want to be more creative. I want to do more complex scenes. I want to
Yeah.
like use my imagination, like things that I imagine and bring them to life.
Hmm.
um I think the answer, like how to get better at coloring, it means like you have to get better at art in general, like what you said, the advantage that you had and that I had, I think, when I started coloring, is that we were doing art before, right?
Yep. Yep. Absolutely.
What kind of art did you do? Can you remember like everything you did and tried?
Um, I definitely did gouache for a bit, but every well, I talk about this in other podcasts, but having ADHD, right? You have
Mm-hmm.
um and you too, where you have like a bunch of different hobbies that you like to do. However, you
Mm-hmm.
end up picking stuff up and putting them down quite quickly. So I pick
Mm-hmm.
something up in 2 weeks and put it down. So I started gouache and I did maybe like 5 pages of a sketchbook, and then I didn't do it again for like 4 years, something like that.
Right.
Mhm. And then um, I would do acrylics. I think acrylics I always come back to. It's just really simple.
Hmm.
It's very easy to access to get as well. I find oils very
Oh
not
yeah.
user friendly. Yeah. But acrylics are very, and you can kind of use it with anything.
But what subjects did you paint? What was your thing?
Subjects, well, mostly landscapes, I would say. I also dabbled in
Mm-hmm.
sketching, so I would sketch like
Mm-hmm.
people. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I found like the more that you would do it, and you would learn after every single thing that you would do, you would learn color value or lighting or you know,
Right.
and that's
And
where we talk
would
about
you
the
say
transferable skill, like from
yes?
taking that into coloring now. Yeah.
Yeah, this is what I wanted to ask. Do you think that your understanding of colors come from paintings that you did
Yes,
before?
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I'm the most knowledgeable about colors. Like my palettes, I can't figure out what's a good palette. Some people have a better eye for that. What colors work together?
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like home decor. People are really good at home.
Yes.
I cannot do that.
Yeah.
It's not in my
Same.
skill set. Yeah, but I just kind of roll with it. I just but then you learn every page, right? So I know what certain blues I like together, or this blue with this
Right.
orange has like a nice. I really liked the outcome of
Mm-hmm.
that. Or like even in this book, I never used that hot pink before, but I was like, you know what? I really like this with the purple. I like that like color combo, and I learned, and now I could bring it to another page. Um, so
Like.
I feel like when we were talking about how people learn or why they learn, it could
Mm-hmm.
also be a transition to how people get inspiration. Do you, because sometimes I inspire myself from my previous pages.
Oh yeah,
So,
absolutely. I think the biggest source of inspiration is you. I mean, you,
yeah.
but also me. It's
I
inside.
mean, some people, you see their pages online or you whatever they post, and you're like, wow. That is so cool. I really like the way that they use the colors there. And this is where we were talking about tutorials. And if people follow tutorials, I will see a tutorial
Mm.
for something that looks really cool. And I was like, I want to try that. And it kind of inspires me to start coloring in a page with that tutorial. So, like the auroras, I talked about the first podcast. It was
Mm-hmm.
a tutorial for the auroras. And I was like, whoa, that is so cool. I need to try that on a page. Otherwise, I wasn't in a coloring mood until I saw that. I got inspo.
Um,
Just wow.
Apart from inspo, do you have like your own approach to tutorials? Like, how do you use them? Like, do you have like a workflow with them, or you just like when you want to apply it, you just open it, watch it, and like use it as a library, or do you try to learn from it? Like, do you have some, you know what I mean?
I feel like I like most people do learn from tutorials while you're doing the process of it. I don't like sit there and take notes if that's what you mean. um,
No, but like I have a very hot take on this, strong opinion
okay,
that maybe not everyone
lay it
like
down.
will.
Well,
Yeah, so I believe 90, okay, not 90, but 80% of art, like no matter what you're doing, like coloring or painting or drawing,
mhm,
is actually happens in your brain
mhm,
and then in like in your mind, you know. And I'm not even talking about like imagining, but like thinking through, or at least I know in my case, maybe some other people like they work differently, you know. But for me, everything happens in my mind. So like to draw the clouds, I need to understand how they, um, how they work. What are they made of?
mhm.
Um, how other people like approach it. The clouds actually are made like of tiny spheres. This is why they are like so bumpy.
Yeah.
And like what was really helpful for me is just like to draw it like in tiny spheres and stuff. So this being said, we will get back to it. But with the tutorials, I if I just follow a tutorial, for me it doesn't like do anything. Like I feel like
Mm,
I just wasted my time, even if it looks nice on a page. Like what I need to do to like feel satisfied is repeat this tutorial on my own. Maybe first time I would look like closely to what is going on there.
yep.
Then I would try to repeat it on my own without maybe like looking there using the same colors.
Okay.
And then I will try to use this technique like in my own way with my own colors maybe, or give it a spin, or like make it my own, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, it does. I was thinking that if I'm doing a tutorial, I was trying to think of myself what I'm thinking of. I have to,
Mm-hmm.
it's not just coloring, but with anything, in order to learn, I feel like you have to understand the why you're doing something. So
Mm-hmm.
if you're following a tutorial, you're not just placing colors down, you're not just following what they're doing blindly.
Right.
You're like, why is that color going there? What's it doing?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Exactly. This is what I mean, like saying that it happens, first it happens in your mind, in your brain.
Yeah, and that's why the best tutorials for me to follow are people that explain the why. They're like, we're putting this
Mm-hmm.
here because the light is coming from here, and this is the kind of shadow it creates on this shape, or whatever. You know what I mean? Like it has to be
Mm-hmm.
a reason for what they're doing. And
Oh yeah, I'm the same.
yeah, yeah. But it's a good source of inspiration, like I said, because typically, like if let's say for me, I don't color that often, but if I see a really cool tutorial and I really want to try it on a page, that's inspo to me. It's like
Do you feel
mhm.
jealous and discouraged seeing other people's tutorials?
Tutorials? No, I think it's really cool. Like, oh, someone came up with this. Do I wish I came
Because
up with it? Yeah, maybe.
no, but like I heard some people get like, oh, they're not only like made it, they also came up with a way how to explain it, and like, oh, oh, and they feel discouraged.
You feel discouraged. Interesting. But why?
I don't know. I think, like, I think it goes back to the first question, like, why do you want to get better? I think
Mm-hmm.
some people put like a lot of weight, especially in color talk environment where it's all very social. So you
Yeah.
like you color and post. I think people start to associate like things that are not directly related to the coloring, like how creative they are, how good they are, how smart
Mm-hmm.
they are.
Well,
with their coloring pages.
yeah, that could be like a validation thing, right? I was wondering if that was part of a reason why people want to get better at coloring, right? And you were saying to
Hmm.
post. Is it like a validation?
Mm-hmm.
They want people to say, oh, like you're so amazing, or they want some sort of like attention or recognition for doing a
Yeah,
good
but
job.
like there are so many other things you can do for that. Why coloring? You know what I
Well,
mean? Just you're just just a coloring book.
yeah, yeah. And that comes back to the original. I think the whole thing where people were coloring was for relaxing, kind of take them out of the real
Hmm.
world, maybe, and just kind of chill and color without any
Yeah.
thoughts. But it's gotten really, really, I would say, more competitive in a way.
Oh, definitely. And
Yeah.
it's getting more and more competitive like every day.
Hmm.
Even
Is
when
that
you
a
don't want to be
jealousy
a
thing,
part of competition.
though?
Um, I don't know. I heard people say they don't want to pick up markers after seeing me coloring. This was
I
really
hear that
sad.
too. But I think that's also like a compliment. Like I do that to you. I'm
Yeah,
like, I'm never coloring in this book because you colored in
yeah,
it.
but
And it's so good that
there
like,
is
but people actually legit say that.
yeah, like you do it in a cute way, but like I heard people like being upset, like really
Mm.
upset. Like, wow, you made me sad, upset.
Oh.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you, do you remember if you had like a moment when you're coloring, um, when you felt like you were getting better at coloring? Was there like a certain moment and like aha moment when you're like, oh, wow, now I'm good. Now I'm good. Maybe a
No,
certain page.
you know, yeah, it might have been a certain page where I felt good. I mean, there's some pages I still feel bad about, even to this day. Where I'm like, ugh,
Mm-hmm.
what was I thinking? Why does this did not
Right.
turn out? Did it ever see the light of day? No, no one has seen those pages. But that does happen even now. So, I mean, you're always continuously learning. It's not like you could every single page from now until I finish coloring ever. Like, every page is gonna get better and better, better, better. Like, it doesn't work like that. I don't think.
Yeah.
Um, I still kind of make old mistakes, or just I still make mistakes. I don't know if you call them mistakes, but like where I want to improve on something, where I tried something new and it was like, well, this didn't work this time. Maybe I'll try it again.
Yeah, but this is a part of the process. Like,
Well, yeah,
do you
art in
think
general. Mhm.
what mistakes are? Like, people say often, like, "Oh, I made a mistake," and you look at this and you're like, where is the mistake? Can you...
True. Yeah.
I
I
think,
think,
like for me, mistake is when I had an intention. Like, for example, I
yes.
didn't say it in the beginning, but I wanted to create like a very happy, pastel kind of Ghibli inspired page with the dreamy, like vibe,
Hmm.
right? So
Hmm.
for me, a mistake would be like to put too much dark marker on the clouds, maybe, so they would be too dark. Does
Yes.
it mean it will be a bad page? No, but it will mean that my initial intention
Yep.
was different.
That's what I think people are referring to with mistake. I would assume whenever I read that, it's like, oh,
Hmm.
this isn't the what they were going for originally. This wasn't
Right.
their idea in their mind, and I've done that too, where you're just like you can't execute
Hmm.
what you're hoping for, and that comes back to wanting to improve because you have this idea in your mind, and maybe you're not able to execute it. What's
Hmm.
what's going on? And I think that's why people want to improve. They see these cool things that other artists are doing, and they're like, I also have those visions in my mind that I could do that or get a page to look like this, but I just physically can't, or my brain doesn't understand how to do it. Um,
Okay, this is actually a pretty good reason to like to say I want to get better.
yeah, I think
Now when you
so.
say it like that.
I think I do that too. Still, that's why.
Oh yeah. No, no, me too, obviously. And like I think a very important part of like getting better is that you discover new things that you can do that maybe you had no idea it was possible.
Mm, yeah,
In a coloring page or with the medium, like with alcohol markers or new tools. And you're like, oh my god, this was always there and I could have done that and I never thought about it.
yeah, and I think that's why people love following your color alongs too, right? It's like
Hmm.
they're showing themselves that they're capable of doing this. They're following your instructions, but they are actually putting the pen to paper. They're doing it. It's just like
Yeah.
things that they never would have thought of on their own, or they like a color they wouldn't have thought, or lines, certain lines they wouldn't have. And then when they watch you, they're like, oh, it's like a clicking thing in their mind. Like, oh, I understand
Um,
this now.
I know you did like not only my coloring but others people. Did
Yeah.
you learn something? Do you think it was useful, like for
Yes.
you with your
Yeah.
level? Because you're not a beginner. Let's be honest.
No, so I was just showing you before this podcast that I followed Megan's color along with Megan's coloring
True.
page. I there was colors in here that I never would have picked up, or
Mm-hmm.
same with the background. Like I never would have thought to do something like this until
Mm-hmm.
she did it and was like saying why, or you know what it kind of did, and I was like, oh. So now I'm mostly it's me with colors. Like I don't think of certain colors to use. It was like you with the rainflower purple. Never would have picked that up
Mm-hmm.
myself because it was your favorite and you would like
This one.
show how you used it. I was like, wait a second, I'm gonna give this a try. That's what I find the most for me
Um,
is like color choices, I would say.
I'm asking because I've tried to finish one color along and I've never finished. Um, because for me, you know what? I realized it while crocheting, actually, like because we all got into crochet like
Mm-hmm.
recently, like our friend group,
Mm-hmm.
and I followed a few tutorials on YouTube, and I realized that all of these art hobbies, like creative hobbies, are divided in two categories, and I'm really good at one and really bad at another one. One is like coloring or painting or drawing, where you have the create like when there are no limits and you have
Mm-hmm.
this creative freedom. And another type is when you have to follow instructions and like follow it step by step.
Mm-hmm.
And these hobbies would be like crochet, knitting, paid by numbers.
Right.
What else? There was more activities that I was like thinking about, but you know what? The ones where you like the result depends on how well you follow the instruction.
Yeah.
And for me, this is something that I don't like to do at all. Like, what do you mean? Like, you're telling me when I have to increase the amount of like crochets that I did? No, I will increase when I want to. You know.
Now this is interesting. Okay, I just had a conversation with my mom about this because my dad decided he wanted to try baking, and
Mm-hmm.
it did not go well because he just started throwing
Oh.
random ingredients in there. He's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna try throwing some brown sugar in there. I'm gonna throw some caramel," and the
Right.
cookies turned out horribly. And he's like, "I don't get it." It's like, well, baking is like a science, right? Like you have to follow those steps exactly
Yeah.
to have the
Mm-hmm.
outcome that you're looking for. Whereas like cooking, he's better at cooking where you could just throw things in there and try it and like taste it on the process and like, you
Mm-hmm.
know, I feel like that's you maybe, right? Like you're more of
Yeah.
a cook and you just want to be creative, whereas like baking is so scientific in a way that
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. Although I like baking, but yeah, you're right. There is less creative freedom in baking.
Yeah, yeah. I just it was funny when my dad made those. Yeah.
But I think it also depends like what kind of person you are. Because speaking of color alongs, like in my personal experience, for me it's hard because I have to follow step by step, right?
Yeah.
And obviously you can in a color along, you don't have to follow it like exactly. But when you're trying to learn new technique, um, you kind of want to follow step by step to see like how it's done, right? Like
Yes.
to understand like where's the magic.
Yeah.
So for me, it's not an easy process. I hope I will finish the one that I started. It was from Beth, and I really like it.
Mm.
I will work in it. But like the same happens to people who follow mine tutorials or color longs. There are people who always give their own spin to them, and I'm always happy because it's something that I wouldn't expect like at all usually.
Okay.
And there are people who like to follow it like step by step, stroke by stroke, and then they expect the result to be exactly as the result you can see in the example.
Mm.
And I don't think my color alongs are made for that. You know?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. But this is where, well, I don't know, because I follow your color alongs too, and then sometimes like it turns out exactly, and then other times like, well, what? I tried it, it's the exact same. How come mine looks different?
Exactly, because there's always, but I mean, the strokes are different. How we hold the markers, everyone holds marker differently. Like I tend to, if someone is watching, I tend to do a lot of strokes when I hold the marker like horizontally, like this.
Yes, you do that. That is true.
And this is something not that is natural to me already because I do it all the time, but maybe completely like new for people who just starting to do it. So it's like gets confusing. So you kind of have to put your own spin on it, in my opinion. Like I believe you have to be creative, although it sounds like
Yeah. So you mean like when you're following a tutorial sort of thing, like you can.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, you have to keep in mind that not like every stroke can be repeated in the exact same manner, you know.
Nope. I learned that with the Aurora tutorial. I tried exactly because I was like, I want it to look exactly like hers. Nope.
Mm-hmm. And it
Halfway
didn't.
through, I'm like, why doesn't it look the same? But then it's like, but the creative part comes in. It's like, okay, how can I make this like hers, but mine,
Mm-hmm.
but with my spin
Right.
on it? Yeah. And so it looks a little different, but
But like what I like, how I like to use tutorials, like I like to get the technique, like I like to understand what kind of thought was behind it,
yes.
like how do you build it. I don't care like what markers you're using, like you don't that it becomes the same. Like people always ask for color schemes, and I don't think a color scheme is that useful. You know what I mean?
Color scheme. Like a palette?
Yeah, yeah, like a palette. Like
Mm-hmm.
people would see the clouds and they're like, wow, what marker did you use? But the technique itself is more important than the colors because I can switch them,
Yeah, you can make them like pink clouds
right?
or
Or
anything.
purple.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have the technique, that's the thing. You do any color. It doesn't have to be. Yeah, that is very true. Mm.
And this is what I mean when I say like it happens in your mind, like before it happens on paper. And I think it's more important, like understanding, the process behind it than actually having the marker color scheme, like marker palette, and just
Yeah,
trying
yeah.
to replicate it.
Mm. Well, so like we were talking about, so tutorials don't inspire you, maybe. Where do you find inspo? Like if you were stopping coloring, right? And we talked about
Mm-hmm.
color burnout, right? For me, that is a thing that's still happening a little bit. So where
Mm-hmm.
is something that makes you want to color? Where do you get inspo?
Definitely not on social media.
No.
Especially when I'm in a coloring burnout and I go to TikTok and I see all those people coloring incredible pages, and they are full of energy, and I'm like on zero, and they are full of these brilliant ideas, and I'm on zero. It only makes me more
Absolutely.
depressed.
I get that for sure.
So for me, it's switching. It's doing something else. I think the beauty of art hobbies is that there's always something else that you can try.
Hmm. Okay. So like
So
crochet,
my
almost like what you're doing.
yeah, but like I refer more to acrylic markers, like
Okay.
painting,
Yeah, yeah.
drawing, sketching, some other art form. You said in the beginning, like for ADHD girls, it's natural, like to jump between hobbies. I
Mm-hmm.
think the only reason why I am like semi decent at art is just because there are a lot of activities inside of it. And like for me, if I get tired of drawing or coloring, I can always switch to something else.
Right. Yeah. Well, that helps when you have the stuff. So like clay for me, you have to spend all this money
Mm-hmm.
on these other hobbies. They kind of sit in your cupboard for a while. That kind of idea.
Yes, but then you want to make a masterpiece, and boom,
You don't have
Sabrina
it.
made this out of her clay.
Yeah. Look at him.
He's
um,
perfect.
I find what we were talking about earlier for myself is like inspo in myself. So if I look at my old pages or
Mm. Mm-hmm.
even on social media, like my old posts I'm looking at and I'm like, oh, I really liked when I did this page. Like, hmm. And I remember like what I was thinking at that time. like what I wanted to improve on or what.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and you know what? Sometimes other art, not coloring, but like digital
Oh
art
yeah,
from other artists, and I'm
absolutely.
like, oh, I really love this palette they're using or this um, whatever scene they drew. It's not really like
Mm.
a coloring inspo, but art.
Speaking of other art and inspo, I think like also I heard like just yesterday, it was an AI discussion
Oh
in my
gosh.
comments. We
Yeah.
will get back to it in another episode. But the prompt. No, this sounds horrible. This sounds AI. The question was like, if I want to find an inspiration, and no one colored something like that, you know, and I need an inspo because I can't color it from memory. So where do I go for inspo? No one colored it, and I was like, well, you don't need to use other colorings for inspo. You can actually find inspo in anything.
Hmm.
You know, when you need a reference, you can use whatever you want: the movies, the series, the books, anything. It's all out there. Unfortunately, now it's all contaminated. Not all of it,
Well,
but
hmm. Yeah. Hmm.
there's still a decent Pinterest search that you can get. You know,
I was just about to say
or
Pinterest is like everyone's best friend for artists, I think. You turn
absolutely.
off the AI filter.
Yeah, yeah, that's
God.
important. I just want to say that since we are talking about how to get better, why it's better not to use AI pictures as your inspo. It's not even because of all the harmful things that AI brings with it, but also when you are like trying to follow a reference, as we said, like don't just follow it blindly, right? You want to understand like why this color goes here, um, why this
Hmm.
combination works. You know, you have to ask yourself questions. The problem is AI doesn't respond to any questions. It's just badly copied.
Right. Yeah, yeah. So like the reason that their picture is the way it is like it doesn't tell you why it's like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Just
just
simply
because there,
just because.
there is,
Because
and
it's
it's a
easy.
happy accident, right? Like the one that you see on Pinterest is just a happy accident, and maybe they generated like 50,000 more that are not that good and don't look so nice. But it's an off topic. I didn't want to bring an
Yeah.
AI today.
But taking in Pinterest, like that's a good inspo place as well. It really is.
Yeah,
There's
and
just
you can find like real artists. You know, with there is a lot of illustrations in different techniques, and then you can just apply it to your coloring pages.
yep, absolutely. I was gonna say YouTube as
Oh,
well. Just like I like following just regular artists. Like it could be a digital artist and you can still transfer that over to coloring.
yeah,
Really.
absolutely.
Hmm.
This is what we again said in the beginning, like the skills, because I think um, there are some fundamental skills that are called fundamentals, you know, because they are fundamental for everything, for any medium. Like it doesn't matter if you color or paint or draw. There are things like light and shadow, color theory, although I don't like this term, but colors, perspective, all those things. Um, they are a foundation of any artwork. And when you are searching for inspo, or by inspo I mean something to like reference from, references,
Hmm.
all those things work the same in every medium, you know. Speaking of Pinterest, important thing to get better at anything art related is actually like, building your visual library. And I
Yes. Yes.
think doing like art and having art hobbies, this is like this unfair advantage that me and Sabrina have in the coloring world, is that
Hmm.
because we also have a very big visual library. The good news is everyone can have it. It's free. It's in your mind.
Right. And it really just takes time, I would say, and practice. And it's like experience, right? If you do a flower like this and you really like it, just the way that you're doing
Mm-hmm.
her flower hat, you just take it into the
Mm-hmm.
next page. Like you have a visual now in that you've built in your
Yes.
mind, and you can just do it off by heart almost after. Yeah.
And this is how it works. Like when people say I can't do it without reference, like girl, me too. Like I can't, but because I did it without reference a couple times before, or I've seen it so many times before, that I can replicate it without looking at any reference from real life or other people's art. I just remember how it is. I know how what it's made of and how to make it with markers.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. So flowers, don't understand how to do them. I'm just coloring one
Oh
right
no, me
now.
neither.
No idea what I'm doing. I'm just like trying to visualize as I'm doing this. Like, does this kind of look like a flower? What can I do to make this maybe look like a flower petal? I don't know. But and it doesn't have to be realistic though, right? Like it really doesn't.
I think coloring gives you like so many different styles that you can execute. Like you don't have to go realistic. I never go realistic. Like my coloring is not my colorings are not realistic.
No.
You know what I mean? Like those clouds. This is not how clouds look like.
No.
They are very cartoonish.
One thing, like it's based on how you color, but I'm very blocky. I'm a very messy colorer. This is why I look at how much I've
Hmm.
done with my page and look how much you've done.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm
It
just
says
blocking
everything.
in. Yeah, I'm just blocking colors in there, just making scribbles. But that's how I like to color. That relaxes me, I think. I can't stand going slow.
What I'm doing right now is very new to me. This is literally like um, I don't know, something that I started to do maybe a couple months ago,
Hmm.
because I was the same as you, and this is also my favorite like way of coloring. That's why like I like to work with references. I
Yeah.
like to have I have that reference for the clouds now, but just because I wasn't sure how the insides of the cloud this cloud should be.
Mm.
Mm, so um, when I started to work like with acrylics, I had this idea that I need to get better at
Yeah.
them. Speaking of getting better, I don't think like you can get better in general. I mean, you can, but getting better in general, it's just the like many things that you get better at
Hmm.
all together that like give you the general level up, right? So what I was getting better at as is using acrylic markers, because for me they're completely alien. I don't understand how it works. I never done acrylic painting. I did oils,
Right.
but oils and gouache. Gouache, it's same as you, like three sketches that I abandoned.
Yep.
Um, like alcohol markers, I don't want to say they're natural to me, but they're easy. I understand how they work, you know. And acrylics,
Mhm.
it's something completely alien. Like, what are
Yeah.
you? How do you work? No idea. So I started to watch what other creators that I admire do, other colorists.
Mm.
Um, and I really liked how they like finish one object, you know, completely with all the details and tiny things. I was like, oh, I want to try that as well.
Mm. Okay. I
So
see.
this is how I started. This is how it all changed. And turned out it's easier to do on a live. Why? Because you just focus on the flower, you know?
Yeah. 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 I see what you mean. I don't do that. I hop around
You should
everywhere.
try. You
Nope.
should try.
Nope. Um, I could, but I find I like changing things as I go. Because if I
Mm,
don't like how this color looks with this color, now I can kind of
right.
switch both of them in a way, like before they're
Mm-hmm.
actually finished. Because I feel like when you like your the flower that you have is like finished. I feel like it's really hard to
Yes.
change it now that it's
Yes.
there.
It will. It's not
Whereas I
gonna
like
change.
to make things darker. I like to change things by adding more and more like darkness, I think,
Hmm.
to it. And I find if I finish something, then I can't do that. I don't know. Different process, see? But you can do either way and it
Exactly.
works.
But
Mhm.
this is the beauty of it. Like you can try one technique, then another one, then different approach, you know, and see what like suits you or what gives you the more joy.
So you would watch people, like what you said, people you admire. Was it
Yes.
tutorial
Do I
based
have to
or
name them?
was it just no, was it like you were
Um,
just watching their process?
no, for me, there are not so many people that like, not so many people that made me, I don't know, gasp audibly, you know. Uh, One of them is my beautiful co-host,
Oh, come on.
uh, and another one was Melissa
Yes.
Colors. Everybody knows who Melissa is.
Yeah, they all.
Um, when I looked at her pages, because I think there are also two different admirations that I can have.
Mm-hmm.
So one is, I see what you're doing, and it's working out. Like yeah, like I like that. Okay, I see what you're doing, and I love it. It's one of them. Another one is like, what? What? How?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I
Excuse
get
me? What is
that.
that?
Me when I see Beth. Mm.
Oh yes, oh yes. This is why I needed her coloring, just like to understand what was it about. What do you mean? How? And it was the same with Melissa, and she had this. This is her way to do things. She finishes an object and just like goes from tiny things to bigger things. Not even
Okay.
tiny things, but she makes like a part of a page, and then kind of expands.
I haven't watched her lives yet, but I just see the finished pages and it's like, what am I looking at right now? What is this?
Uh, so yeah, luckily I could catch a few lives of her, and I was just stalking them, silently watching. Like, what are you doing now?
Yeah.
And I didn't adapt her full technique. Let's say she uses pencils and gel pens a lot.
Right.
I don't, not so much at least. I do use them, but right now I'm using it right now, but for different reasons. I don't shade with pencils. In what I did adapt is putting acrylics and finishing the object all together and seeing how
Oh,
it
so
looks.
you kind of learned acrylics a little bit from watching her, sort of how she
Yes,
did it.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
She inspired me to get better at acrylics.
Yeah, yeah. I think so too. When I was seeing her pages for like Whirlies, like the Fairyland ones, I was like, what? And then realized they
Hmm.
were the acrylics. I don't think I really used them before that. Um,
I think we should remember to put people we're talking about in the notes, in
yeah.
the description, so people
Oh yeah,
can.
yeah. We could link them just in case someone
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
know them. Okay.
yeah.
Hmm. But I mean, there's so many colors that are just like they're so good. What I love too is the ones that are so different than me, even like,
Yes.
and I'm just
Hmm.
like, wow, this is so cool that we have so like a completely different style, but I don't know, they're really really cool. No, I'd never color that way. Like, there's one. I'll link her in the description too. I think it's Lo is her name. She does like really pink pages and does like
Mm-hmm.
bows on everything. I just saw her one on Facebook as well. I would never do that. I don't use
Yeah,
pink.
literally the
I
opposite.
yeah, opposite. I like the dark. I use pink in this page. I don't think I ever used pink, but I love
Hmm.
seeing it because it's so cool to me that like she makes it this way
Mm-hmm.
and it's something that I couldn't do or wouldn't do or whatever. She makes it looks really cool, like look really cool, and that's her style. It's like her signature. I love that.
Um, Here's my question: Do you think people, beginners especially, need to develop a style, or do you think there is a style? Do you think you have a style? I have a style.
I don't think it's a thing that you should set out to do. Be like,
Mm-hmm.
I really want to have my own unique style, so you know I think it develops over time, for sure.
Hmm.
And what you end up enjoying doing, I think.
Right.
Or
So
I don't know if I have a style.
when I was into digital illustration, I think you definitely have a style. Like
Do I?
absolutely.
I know you
Yes.
do. I know people like say when they see your page, they immediately know it's yours. Like,
Yeah, but it's the same with you. When I see your page, I immediately know it's yours.
mm,
And
totally.
yeah, 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 yeah. So the thing is, I watched. I think it was a class that I took
Mhm.
from one of my favorite illustrators, and he was talking about style in illustration, in children's book illustration, and I was shocked by what he said because he said that it kind of works by the algorithm that can be you can leave it as it is and it will naturally form because the style forms according to the algorithm. It's things that you consume, things that you like,
Yeah.
and things that align with your skill level. So basically on your skill level you try to recreate the things that you like, and it
Okay.
slowly evolves. What he was offering is a more mindful way or quicker way. Like instead of letting it naturally form, he was encouraging people to actually develop a style like consciously and
Mm.
offering an exercise. And I did it. I didn't finish it like, completely, but I tried it. So the
Mhm.
exercise was you have to find things that you like, right?
Like other people's
And
stuff.
yeah, other people aren't like so you because it was about children's book illustrated. It was a little bit easier because I think in coloring you can put mm, like any kind of art. In
Hmm.
children's book it has to be like children's book centered.
True. Yeah. Yeah.
So the exercise was to find 5 illustrators. I think it was starting with 5, and look at their work. Like make a folder. Actually, download their work to your folder, and look at the pages that you picked, and decide what you like about it. Like, what is it that attracts your attention? What is it that makes you say, "Oh, I want this. I want to do that."
Yeah.
Um, and well, then boringly study study those aspects of this illustration. So in the
Mm.
end, you kind of take something from one of them, and something from
Okay.
another one, and you kind of build like a transformer of your own style out of it.
Interesting.
Or like
Hmm.
you make it faster because how our brain works, naturally it does the same. Like it, even if you're not verbalizing it, like, consciously thinking, "Oh, I like how this person uses acrylics in her flowers," right?
Yeah.
But my brain picks it up without like notifying me. So the next time when I try to do acrylics and flowers and stuff,
Hmm.
my brain kind of refers to it even without me noticing. So what can I do if I do want to develop my style is to do it consciously.
Mm. Okay.
So here's an idea for everyone who does want to actively participate in their style development.
I could see that. I think it would be cool to look back at your own pages though too, and figure out which ones were your favorite and why,
Mm,
and which ones you enjoyed
absolutely.
coloring
Yes,
the most.
yes.
Yeah.
I think in general, just being mindful about your work is a great advice. To get better or just to be more mindful about what you do.
Oh, I wanted to show you something. Hang
Guys,
on.
she will show us something.
Okay, so what I wanted to show you was I was trying different styles for a
Mm-hmm.
bit in one of the Whirly books. So I'll
Okay.
pull it out. And so it was both of them. I was just trying a bunch of different styles and seeing what I liked, and I was copying some things or like color schemes or whatever. Um,
Mm-hmm.
this was one of the ones, whoops, where is it? Where I was trying like a new water. And
Ooh,
since then, I really liked it. I've taken it into every
this is
single water page
gorgeous.
since because it was something that I was like, I really enjoyed coloring it, but it was
Mm-hmm.
trying something new. The other one where I would think it was my style and I really enjoyed coloring it was this freaky thing.
Oh
Which
yes,
was,
dramatic lighting.
yes, this is where it started. Where, okay, I was like,
Mm-hmm.
this is super dramatic and I'll kind of tone it down a bit, but I really want to do more pages like this because I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed trying to map out the deep shadows and like
Mm-hmm. Mm.
how I wish I could go back and change it because I don't like this thing, but the actual like fake open door, I want to pull that
Mm-hmm.
into another page. And I think people have done that. But it was inspired by another page. It was inspired by someone else doing this. Not this
Do you
exact page.
remember who did
They
it?
Yes, and it was in a Coco Wyo book. And it was on a
Uh-huh.
Facebook post. And it was like a characters in like a tent and it looked like there was a door open making
Mm-hmm.
like really dramatic shadows like that. And because I am so attracted to like the dark shadows, I was like, I need
To
to
the
try this.
darkness.
Yeah, to the darkness for some reason. Like, don't get me wrong, I love color, but I just really like the dramatic lighting and like using black
Mm-hmm.
markers and stuff. I was like, I need to try that, and I used it in that page, and I loved it. I loved doing it, and I don't know why I've never done it since. But I guess
That's
like
a great
that,
story.
like yeah, it was just like I developed my style from really from seeing another one and trying to replicate it in a way. So what you're saying, right?
Exactly. You did like exactly what I said with
Yes,
the
yeah, yeah. That's exactly why I'm
um
telling you the story. um, So my style came from that. Yeah.
Like since you're showing things, I also want to show things.
Yeah. It's a show and tell period.
Okay, so I show it a lot, but I wanted to show this schedule because this is when I think when my style started to form, and when I feel like I got a lot better at coloring in general. Um, so I made this. I was really struggling with the grass, right? And
Mhm.
I just drew circles and I just focused on the grass. Like I did just grass studies. These are different images from Pinterest that I tried to uh, like use their palette or the composition or like strokes, you know. So I
Okay.
was not focusing on creating content. I was not focusing on making a beautiful page and like putting it directly, you know, applying it directly to the
Yeah.
page. I just
Yeah. Yeah.
focused on okay, how can I make a grass, right? And I did the same with the clouds. Um, and as you see, it's
Gorgeous.
the same way I I still make clouds. And then
Yeah.
I continued doing it for a while. And people say, "Whoa, that's so much work." But actually, then I stopped doing it,
Mm.
and I regret it. I want to get back to it because I feel like this is what actually made me better.
What do they call those studies? Right?
Yeah, I would call them like study.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see, more grass. Like if it wasn't enough,
I think of like
then I did.
a traditional painter, right? Like an oil painter, they do like hand studies, or
Right.
you know what I mean. They just do the hands in all different shapes and like in all different lighting and yeah.
Exactly, because what's happening is, especially with the alcohol markers, because you can't. I think studies are important with alcohol markers because you can't mix them, right?
Yeah.
Uh, so you have to be very precise with the colors you're putting down. You can't go darker, you can go lighter. So there are limitations. So it's good to like if you don't know how to make a flower, it's good to maybe try to make it outside of your coloring page if you really are going for like a new technique or um, something more than just a relaxing coloring process too.
Or
You
you
know.
do it like me, you just do it on a page and then regret it. And you're like, well, I should
Yeah,
have practiced that beforehand.
there is Sabrina's approach.
Yeah.
But another consequences of Sabrina's approach is that sometimes you do this, you're like, wow, I'm gonna try it, and it works, and then you can't repeat
Yes.
it because when people ask to replicate it, you're just like, ah, it just happened.
Yeah, I have no clue what I did. It's just there. That's exactly what happens.
Like this is what happens to with me here. It was just, I was just improvising all the way, and
That is
people
like,
are asking to replicate it.
yeah, that's like a classic you page right there. That's like
Yeah,
a pastel lover's dream.
yeah,
I love
this
that
is
we're
me.
completely opposite.
You are.
Like, you love all the light colors, and I'm just like, give me the blacks.
But like in the real life, I wouldn't say you're such a dark person. You know what I mean?
No, I love wearing rainbow colors, maybe. But that's what I said. Don't get me wrong, I love the light as well, but there's something that speaks to me about dramatic lighting, and maybe that's what we're talking about of like something that inspires you or how you develop your own style. It's like what really draws your eye, what kinds of,
Hmm.
and just look
What do you
deeper into that.
like? This is it. The first,
Why is that drawing your eye? Why are you, yeah,
like, listen to yourself and maybe ask yourself questions as well.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And then, trying to replicate it in a way or doing a study like you were saying to help kind of understand it a little bit more and thinking, why am I doing this? Why am I making this color? What? Yeah.
Hmm. So, for our listeners who arrived to this to this moment, I actually have a very easy way to improve your coloring, improve your art, improve anything artistic. Like if you're into digital painting, whatever. Yeah, I have a magic recipe.
A secret Daria tip. I'm listening. I'm
Secret
set.
Daria tip.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's not like it's not complicated, but it's not easy. So what you have to do is you need a sketchbook, any kind of sketchbook. The least fancy, the better. Like the cheapest one you can actually get. And then you need a pencil. And by pencil, I mean, you know, the normal one. HB, I don't know how it's called in States, this is
Yeah.
actually B. So normal HB pencil and maybe sharpener, so the pencil should be sharp.
Mhm.
And you start to draw the objects that surround you from life, like not going on Pinterest and searching for the references, not uh, putting it in ChatGPT and saying, "Draw me this pen."
Gosh.
You actually look at the objects around your house first, then maybe it will motivate you to go outside, which is also good. We like to have a
Mm.
have a good excuse to go outside,
Touch grass.
right? And you just start doing sketches, and it doesn't matter where you are. If you do it for 30 days, um, by the end of 30 days, and you don't have to like spend a lot of time on it. It can be, I don't know, 50 minutes a day. Trust me, if you do it for 30 days, by the end of this month, you will be a different person.
Daria's 30-day guarantee. Do it for
Yeah.
30 days. Different person.
Have you tried it?
Nope. Will I? No.
You should.
I haven't stuck for anything for 30 days in a row. Actually, except for Duolingo. I'm on day 100, by the way. This is the most I've ever done.
Congratulations.
But I think even actively, like you said, even just a couple minutes. It doesn't have to be like this whole thing. And I think sketching, or people think about like taking out all your art supplies and putting it away, and it's just a lot of work to do like a
hmm
small amount. But really, even just a sketching book, you can take it on a scrap piece of paper. You're saying like
Yeah,
anything.
like I'm saying like to take a sketchbook is just because probably you will commit to it. Like there is higher possibility that you will commit to the sketchbook than to a scrap piece of paper. The
Well, that's
idea is
true.
just doing sketches for a month. Because I think people who want to improve their art, they often get lost in like the amount of art supplies. Do I
Mm-hmm.
need new markers to get better? Do I need new acrylics, new gel pens? Oh, why your jelly roll is jelly rolling and my isn't? Do I need another jelly roll? Maybe Sabrina's
Mm-hmm.
brand is better. All this doesn't matter. I mean, it does, but I think the most important things are fundamentals. Again, like the values, the lights, shadow, perspective, all those. Like how the actual object, like 3D object, looks on 2D page, right?
Yeah.
And by actually studying the subject from real life, you train your brain to start seeing this. You start to pay attention how shapes are. Although you're not working with colors, but if you pay attention to object shapes, what is dark, what is light, where is the shadow, how this
Mm-hmm.
shape looks like, you start to pay attention to the colors as well. You start to notice how different lighting affects different colors, and all that. So anyway,
Yeah.
uh, 10 out of 10. I recommend it to anyone who would.
Okay. Anyone listening that wants to do it, show us your 30-day progress. 30 days
Oh,
from now.
if you make sketches, at least like two sketches of your everyday objects for 30 days, I will give to you 2 years of my Patreon.
2 years.
Yeah,
Holy
2 years.
smokes. Oh my god.
You just
I'm
have
doing it.
to
I have to stick with it for
stick.
30 days.
Yeah.
What a steal. Okay. I like it.
Okay, so I think this is
That's
it,
it.
right, for today.
And with Daria's 2-year Patreon on the line, we better be seeing some sketchbooks here at the end of 30
Yeah,
days.
please, if you follow for 30 days, it's all yours. So thank you very much. Please let us know in the comments if there is something that helped you to get better at coloring or art in general.
Mm-hmm.
Also, let us know what you would like us to talk about in the future episodes. We're always open for suggestions, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, we have tons we can talk about. We could take the app for hours. But any other
Exactly.
suggestions that other people want to hear, right? That's a good.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
Oh,
Okay.
question. Are you going to finish this page after the podcast?
Oh yeah, I will. Probably when the podcast is out, this page will be out and we can link it, the
Same.
final result, right?
Yeah. Okay, let's do
Your
that.
page is just insane. I
Oh, thank
can't
you.
believe it.
I really like your flower.
I can't believe you actually did it. Oh my
I
god.
said I'm so fast. I just color so fast. But they saw the beginnings, and then they can see the end when we're all finished. How it
Right.
got there. Yeah.
Okay. So bye bye.
Bye bye.